Folks, it's Ian Cogden here. I just want to show my setup that UFO asked me to show. This is the circuit here. It's showing the circuit that UFO has designed for me to run Nessie. This is a 1000 watt motor that's been asymmetrically modified. Here is the rev counter. This is the volts that's in the battery. The battery is now at 52.16 volts, 14 volts. This here is the control circuit. When the switches are down, they're on generator. When they're switched up, it's on power. This here is the voltage in the generator in the caps. It's 49.4 volts. Here is the amps that it's drawing. At all times when it's drawing from the battery, that's the amps. Over here is the UFO circuit, showing his original circuit that we used for the CFL bulbs to lighting them up. That's the complete one there. Now I'll switch it on. What I'm going to demonstrate now is the changing of these switches, how it affects the speed, and also how it affects the super caps. Now if I don't turn on the batteries, but I run the circuit, the super caps will run down a bit. So we'll watch that first. That's switched off. I'll switch the circuit on, and I'll put one on the power, and you watch the volts run down. See how they're running down? That's running on the caps. You see there the battery's not changing. The revs here is 30.329. They're starting to slow down now, so I'll switch it off. It didn't last for very long. They're only 50 farad caps, and there's 20 of them in series, which gives me 52 volts. Now if I switch them onto the battery and the caps together, you'll notice that the caps are 38.7. The volts of the battery is 52.13. Now what I'll do, I'll start it up again. Oh. Now if you'll notice there that the caps are increasing. The voltage in the motor on the battery hasn't changed much. It's running at 50.37. It's actually increasing. It's gradually increasing. The capacitors are increasing, and it'll take a little while and they'll connect up. Now we see that the revs now is 3,875. Now when I switch another one onto the power, the revs goes up 4,054, 56, 55, 57, 58, 60, it's increasing. The capacitors are still increasing also. The amp draw is steady on 1 amp. Now there's no load on the motor. I'm not going to put a load on the motor. I'm just looking at the speed and how it charges the capacitors. It's still going up in speed. It's 4,670 now, 71, 68, 69, so it's pretty well stable there. Now I'll switch another one onto the power. Now it's stopped charging the capacitors, just going up very slowly. But the battery voltage is 50.34. 49.4 in the caps. I had three gates switched on to the power and only one generator. The speed is 4,106. I'll switch another one onto the power. Now they're all on power. There's nothing going into the capacitors. The capacitors are staying. The voltage on the batteries is remaining stable. So really it's just putting out it's just using what it's actually putting back into the batteries. And yet there's nothing there. The generator is not generating, is not connected up to the batteries. It's only using power. It's still going up a bit, 35, 34. Now it's starting to slow down just a little bit. Now if I put it back onto one on the generator, it went up just a fraction. The generating is going up just a fraction. Now I put it, and the speed is 4,107. The voltage in the batteries is still 50.33. I'll switch another one onto the generator. The revs is slightly reducing, 50.33 still on the batteries, and it's 49.8 in the caps. Now if I put another one on the generator, you'll notice that it is going up still slowly, 49.9. I put another one on the generator, the motor slowed down, but the motor slowed down to 3,896. It's just remaining, it's increasing just a little bit, it's up to 3,906, so the revs are increasing again. The battery is still at 50.39 and the caps are going up to 50.1 volts. What I intend to do now is I'm going to switch off the batteries and the motor will still run on the capacitors. You can see the voltage in the capacitors coming down. The speed is slowing down because it's using the volts. It's coming right down to 43 point. The motor is slowing right up. The time now is 6 minutes to 4. I'll switch it back on the batteries. The voltage is going up in the caps. The battery is still maintaining its voltage. My thumb just slipped on the throttle then. We'll just see how long it takes to come up to 50 volts again on the capacitors. Some on the forum reckon that there's been no advance on the UFO's site, but it is advancing. I haven't got the motor wound the new way. This is still a north-south configuration. UFO has decided and proved that all north winding is much better, and I have yet to wind one that way. But we see that the voltage is increasing on the capacitors. Each capacitor is 2.7 volts and they're 50 farads. And they're set all in series, so it gives me 52 volts. the battery's still maintaining its 50 volts. It's still running. There's no load on it, but it's still running. I don't want to put a load on today. I'm just testing this to see how fast it'll charge the capacitors. Eventually, I hope that I'll be able to have a motor carrying huge capacitors and run a house off it. At the moment this is still experimenting as far as I'm concerned. 48.3, 4, still going up. I just switch one more onto power. Yeah, it's going up a bit faster. The speed is 4,098. 91, the speed's going down slightly. Gone down 4,099, it's going up again now. And of course the speed is regulated by the voltage. It's 49.4, the capacitors. 49.5, they're going up. I've found that when I have 2 on power and 2 on generating, it seems to go a little bit faster. 49.6, 7. $49.8. Every time I use these batteries using this machine, the batteries increase a little bit in power. The resting voltage goes up slightly. Not much, but each time it goes up a little bit more. Now it's reached 50 volts. The time now is 2 minutes to, or 1 minute to 4. When was that one before? 6 minutes. Yeah, it's 50.1. My thumb's getting sore here. 50.2. .3. So we see that the battery's maintaining its voltage, 50.3 roughly. The capacitors actually go up over. It's already over now.
Okay.
And